The director of WandaVision is bracing for the worst, as people over at Marvel Studios are expecting that a lot of people are going to be disappointed with the finale of WandaVision. Now, there's a lot that goes into this, but let's talk about this and the realistic expectations maybe we should have going into it. Naturally, over the course of telling a story, you have to eventually, hopefully, get a chance to conclude it in the way you want. Sometimes you're not afforded an ending which can be satisfactory because you're either told to wrap it up because you're getting canceled, or sometimes you're outright just canceled and you had a long-form story arc that was going to last multiple seasons. Some of my favorite series of all time, and for example here, my favorite series of all time, the reimagined reboot from the early 2000s of Battlestar Galactica, by the time it wraps up, a lot of people were left disappointed because a lot of fan theories and things that people wanted, and at the time we're talking about on forums and MySpace and the early days on Facebook, were not met. There was a lot of anticipation, but I honestly loved the ending because I saw it as the only way you could actually conclude that story. So with WandaVision, the last episode, there is a lot of anticipation and excitement among fans, but there is a lot of people that literally expect that the last 20 minutes is going to be Magneto showing up to dump a bunch of exposition, or Doom showing up, or the Fantastic Four show up, or Tobey Maguire shows up, or who knows who shows up. And in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Matt Shankman, the person that made WandaVision possible, he's the director of it, talks about how he hopes that the journey of these characters in the series is satisfying because he expects that there's so many theories out there and so many people believe that these theories are in fact going to be true that ultimately, if they don't pan out, they're going to be disappointed. And I think going into the final episode, we're already seeing this because people were fixated on Mephisto must be behind everything. Suddenly he's not, and you feel like you wasted your time. I honestly don't feel that way. I think the theories and everything that we come up with, that we discuss, that run rampant through the fandom, are just that. They're theories. Don't build up your entire anticipation on the theories, which is what I try to say in every single video, and I give my take on if I believe it or not. Ultimately, will I be disappointed if Magneto doesn't show up? No, I don't care. And I think more people need to realize that it's not about that. This is Wanda's and Vision's story, not the let's canonize the Fox X-Men universe series. And I don't think people for some reason can understand that. And it's sort of disappointing to see that they're bracing for disappointment, because they know that if Magneto doesn't show up, half of their feed on their social media is going to be telling them that they're the worst person ever and sending out death threats to them because Magneto didn't show up, and that's just disappointing. But the final episode is almost here. We're going to conclude this. We're going to see what happens with these characters. We're going to have a bigger picture of where the next chapter of the MCU brings us in terms of the multiverse and Wanda's story, and that's all I really want. That's all I'm expecting. If I get any extra cameos or mentions of anything, it's icing on a very delicious cake that I've already eaten, so I guess it's just sort of icing there sitting on a plate. I mean, I'll still eat it, but I'll feel disgusting.